UCLA's entire season may rest on one transfer offensive tackle, and that's Jordan Davis. I know that sounds pretty excessive. No, one player does not throw the passes, carry every ball, call the plays, right? But when you look at how this offense is built, Davis is the piece that could determine whether everything fits together or whether the plan starts cracking before it ever gets moving. So on this episode of the Big Ten Huddle podcast, I'm going to show you why left tackle is UCLA's pressure point this season, why Davis does not have to become an all Big Ten star to change the team, and the three different seasons his performance could create. So here's what's actually happening. UCLA has reasons for optimism almost everywhere on offense. Nico Iamaleava is the established quarterback and has reportedly drawn strong off-season reviews for his leadership, preparation. The running back room has three experienced options on the table. The receiver group was almost completely rebuilt and now offers several different skill sets. Young players doing a good job in that room. And then you have the offensive line. UCLA has numbers, competition, and experience in spots. Riley Roble appears to be the clearest answer at center. Eugene Brooks, Carter Sweezy, and Julian Armella give the Bruins options inside. There are multiple possibilities at right tackle, but left tackle is different. The expected answer is Jordan Davis, and he matters because the rest of the line at least provides combinations UCLA can imagine working with. If Davis stabilizes the blind side, the coaches can build around the other battles. If he cannot, they may have to start moving pieces around and solve the hardest position on the line to hide. UCLA does not need five dominant linemen. It needs five players who can function together without one obvious weakness forcing the offense to change its identity. Last season, tackle did exactly that, right? Did exactly that. The quarterback could not consistently operate on schedule. Nico Iamaleava had another tough year of getting sacked and being pressured in the backfield. The running backs were judged inside an offense that rarely gave them clear opportunities. Longer passing concepts became difficult because the edge of the pocket could fail before routes even developed. So the wrong question is, will Jordan Davis be great? The real question is whether he can make left tackle stop controlling every decision UCLA has to make and just be reliable. And this is where every evaluation of UCLA becomes lazy if you don't talk about this well, right? Because you have to stop asking whether UCLA has enough weapons. That is not the question that will decide the offense. The Bruins have a proven starting quarterback, a deep running back rotation, a rebuilt receiver room with some young guys who are already excelling and look like they're going to get some good snaps. The real question is whether Jordan Davis can make left tackle boring, right? Not dominant, not an All-American, not a star player, boring. Boring means Nico finishes his drops. It means the running backs are judged on their ability instead of surviving contact in the backfield. It means the play caller can use the full offense instead of protecting one collapsing edge. UCLA does not need a superstar out there. It needs the position to stop damaging everything around it. Listen, boring is a compliment in this scenario on the offensive line, right? It's like the long snapper. Nobody wants to know the long snapper's name in this situation. Nobody needs to know that Jordan Davis is like this great left tackle or anything. Just be good and keep Nico Iamaleava upright. When a tackle does his job, most fans barely notice. When he does not, the problem announces itself. A sack, a hurried throw, a holding penalty, or a run redirected before the back reaches the line. That matters in the Big Ten because a vulnerable tackle does not stay hidden. Once defensive staffs find him, they will exploit him. They can keep attacking him with speed, power, twists, pressure looks. The offense then has to help with a tight end or keep a running back in protection or shorten the passing game. Those solutions can work, but every solution removes something else your offense could be doing. The tight ends who stay in constant release, right? The running back protecting the quarterback is not immediately available in space. The receiver running the deeper routes may never become part of the play. Unstable tackle play does more than just create sacks. It quietly reduces the number of players an offense can use, or plays an offense can use to threaten the defense. The hidden blueprint here for UCLA's offense is not a trick play. It is getting 5 eligible receivers into routes without panicking about the left tackle. If Jordan Davis holds up by himself, Josh Pfeiffer can become more than an emergency blocker. A running back can release into space. UCLA can use play action without automatically sending 2 toward the blind side. The new receivers get time to separate. But if Davis needs constant protection, the offense pays a tax on every pass. One extra blocker means one fewer options, and one fewer options means less space for the defense to cover. Average left tackle play could create an above average improvement everywhere else. Now, let's look at the 3 versions of UCLA's season that could happen, right? Version 1, Davis is solid. He does not erase the elite pass rushers, but he plays with consistent technique, avoids catastrophic losses, and gives Nico Iamaleava a trustworthy edge. UCLA can use the full menu. The Bruins can rotate Anthony Woods, Javian Thomas, Wayne Knight, without asking them to repair broken plays. Brian Rowe can work underneath. Bigger receivers can attack outside. Landon Ellis can become the dependable possession option that he needs to be. Nico can run by design instead of just having to scramble for all of his yards. In that version, Davis allows UCLA to discover how good everyone else might be. Version number 2 is that Davis is below average, but stable, right? This may be enough. If he loses some difficult matchups but remains playable, the staff can choose when to help him instead of designing the entire offense around emergency protection. UCLA can chip a dangerous edge rusher on obvious passing downs, move the pocket, use quicker concepts against specific opponents. You can survive a weakness when you control when it appears. You cannot survive it when every opponent can trigger it on demand. And that is version 3, which is the nightmare. The nightmare situation is Davis is not even playable, and UCLA has no clean second answer here. That creates another reshuffling cycle. A right tackle moves left. A guard gets tried outside. A younger player is forced into a role before he's ready. The line loses continuity, and every position battle becomes connected to the unresolved problem at left tackle. Suddenly, 23 offensive linemen do not look like depth. They look like 23 separate attempts to find the right answer. If Jordan Davis cannot hold down the left tackle spot, UCLA's offensive rebuild could fail before we learn whether the skill players were actually good. That sounds like an overreaction, but it's not. Nico cannot run a consistent passing game if his blind side collapses. The running backs cannot prove last season was misleading if they're dodging defenders before the play even develops. The receivers cannot transform the offense if UCLA must keep extra blockers attached. That's not about blaming one player for everything. It's about recognizing that one unresolved position can place a ceiling over the entire unit. Davis does not have to carry UCLA. He just cannot force everybody else to play smaller. So what should UCLA fans watch for during camp? If you're saying like, okay, well, we know the problem now, what do we watch for? First, does Davis stay with the first team offense consistently? Not just for practice, not just for one practice, but for drills, for scrimmages. Is the staff treating him like the answer? Second, how often does UCLA manufacture help for him? A tackle can lead a competition and still reveal concern if every competitive period is structured to protect him. Third, does the rest of the line settle? If Rebel is established at center and the guard competition produces 2 dependable options, UCLA can focus on the edges without rebuilding the entire unit. And then finally, this is the last one. What happens when Davis faces UCLA's best pass rushers, right? Guys like Sahir West and guys like that. Camp cannot perfectly recreate a Big Ten Saturday, but it can show whether the offense is comfortable calling normal plays or constantly negotiating around one matchup. That is the payoff. That is the thing you look for most. That is the thing you read about most on the message boards and try to figure out, ask your insiders about. Jordan Davis does not need to become UCLA's best player. He may only need to become the most boring player that nobody notices, so that way the offense doesn't have to cater to him all the time. If that happens, the Bruins can evaluate Nico, the running backs, the receivers, the tight ends, and the new system on their own merits. It does not. If it does not, every exciting possibility comes to the same warning label. UCLA's ceiling may be determined by the man protecting the edge of the picture. Subscribe for more Big Ten football, basketball talk and analysis here, and tell me in the comments, does Jordan Davis need to be good for UCLA's offense to work, or is it merely average enough? Is that okay for them to be able to be good? Let me know in the comments. Would love to hear from you.